Hello and welcome back. Here we are on chapter 6 today, the Tao Te Ching. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far because I have certainly enjoyed putting it together. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and I think it's because it really just speaks a lot of truth. Every time I read it, I feel like I'm reading it for the first time, and it has been quite an experience. I would say that a lot of my life today is because the way it is because of this book. So it has been life-changing for me. So let's dive in. Chapter 6, The Valley Spirit. The Valley Spirit never dies. The mystic feminine. The gate of the mystic feminine. The root of heaven and earth. Like a soft silken fiber can be used without end. This one's a short one, and I am actually... John Minford doesn't actually have a River Master commentary on this particular chapter. So I'm going to read something else from his book regarding this chapter from Magister Liu. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He is also another commentator on the infamous Tao Te Ching. Without further ado, Magister Liu. Now we come to the spirit itself. Consider two mountain peaks facing each other and the valley between. A voice calls out. An echo replies. A sound from nothing. A something without form. Neither a nothing nor a something. A concentration of pure energy. This is the valley spirit. In the center of emptiness it dwells. A true void. A calm which both moves and yet is still. This is the gate of the primordial yang and of the mystic feminine yin. The gate through which yin and yang come and go. Embrace the valley. Never let it out of heart and mind. The essence, the spirit will endure. It will never die. Wheresoever the spirit is, there is the Tao. Wheresoever it stretches its hand, left and right, it plucks the fruit. The treasure of life destiny. To know the spirit of the valley, seek guidance from a true teacher. Without such a teacher, all is vain speculation, and the spirit remains elusive. Wow, the valley spirit. I think we're getting into a little bit of a more esoteric view of the Tao here, and I'm gonna try my best to explain this one. It's a little bit more nuanced, I would say, than the last few chapters have been. Not bad. It's going to give you a little more food for thought. So let's take it line by line. The valley spirit never dies. The mystic feminine, the gate of the mystic feminine, the root of heaven and earth, like a soft silken fiber, can be used without end. So, if you know anything, if you've had any experience with the Eastern religions, they tend to look towards femininity as the creation spirit of the world and of the universe, and this feminine spirit is obviously the yin of the yin and yang, right? And it's the idea that essentially breath energy, and this is kind of coming back to the breath, is that the valley is the same as the lungs and the stomach, and the breath is the in and out, is the feminine energy. Oops, didn't mean to drop that again. Let's go a little bit deeper into some of the other commentators on this, because they might be able to give you better examples of this than I can. This chapter may belong to the general stock of early Taoist rhyme teaching. The Zhiangger commentator: man should model himself on earth, on the feminine, on woman, and not be assertive. The dark female, the mystic feminine, is earth. The yin grotto is the vagina. The gate, the valley. The essence, the root of woman. The penis is the root of man. John Minford has some commentary as well. The contemporary Peking scholar Li Ling concurs with this sexual interpretation, while Winged Sit Chan follows the more symbolic and coy reading of the Song Dynasty Neo-Confucian master Zhu Ji. The valley and feminine, like infant in water, are Lao Tzu's favorite symbols for the Tao. There's nothing mysterious about the valley or the valley spirit. It simply stands for emptiness, for vastness, openness, all-inclusiveness, and lowliness or humility. In the words of Zhu Zi, the valley is in itself is empty. As sound reaches it, it echoes. This is spontaneity of spiritual transformation. The feminine is that which receives and produces things. One point here that can seem counterintuitive, especially if you're a man and you tend to lean more masculine in your personality, is the Taoism idea, the philosophy is feminine in nature, meaning it's receptive, not assertive. Okay, and a lot of what this idea is propagating is that if you are to follow the way of the Tao and live in peace, and we're going to get into this in future chapters, but the way to do that is to not assert unnecessarily or force yourself at all in your life, right? So if you force something, and you maybe have had this experience where maybe there's some desire, and this is why this is again harkening back to desire a little bit. So if you have some desire and it's taking a lot of effort and energy to acquire whatever you're going after. Let's use a relationship. If you see a potential partner, and you built friendship, and you're trying really hard, and they're kind of not really into it, but you're putting a lot of effort into it, and so you're asserting your will into this experience and not allowing it to unfold naturally, right? So when you assert and you try to make something happen, there tends to be more resistance to it. And even if you do achieve it, or it does happen, it doesn't feel the same as if it naturally had unfolded. Now, that doesn't mean that you sit back and let life happen to you necessarily, but it's what they call non-action. They're going to refer to non-action a lot in this book. And non-action, I'll try to describe this. We're going to talk a lot more about non-action here later on. But non-action is the idea. It's actually what I would call inspired action. Whereas, let's go back to the example of the relationship that you're pursuing a person, right? So if you have this same situation, but instead of asserting yourself, you're detaching from it. You're saying, okay, I would like this to happen, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. And you get this internal kind of balanced state of peace where everything's okay. Either way. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. Fine. And you just let the relationship unfold naturally. You talk, you get to know each other, you go out as friends, and then naturally, as time goes on, maybe this unfolds into a relationship, but it didn't require you asserting yourself. It required you to just detach from the outcome and to naturally go through the flow of the experience while taking inspired action. So if there was hey, let's go out and hang out and have a drink. Okay, you go out and have a drink. You start talking about your life. You listen to her about her life, or him about his life. And then you start to build connection, and you start to build rapport. And, I mean, a few days go by, you text, say, hey, hey, I had a great time the other night. And then it's like this natural, you take these little inspired actions as time goes on, which may lead to something. But then again, you're detached from it. So you're not, so it's like if you're attached to the outcome, it's like, I got to be with this person. And then you stranglehold the whole narrative, the whole experience, and it almost drains the life out of it. So a letting go and allowing things to unfold naturally. And this is very difficult. This can be this if how many times in your life have you wanted something so desperately, and the want of the thing created the resistance against you getting it, right? So letting go of the outcomes is so critical to this process, because then the things that you want naturally come to you. You almost magnetize them to you because you have that detachment. Yeah, it is. This one is we're getting a little bit more in depth here. This is getting interesting, I think. And I believe that taking a feminine approach, especially if you're a man, especially if you're a masculine man, to not assert yourself constantly it's challenging. It's challenging. I say this as I know myself to be an assertive person, or I have been in the last several years. So I have to moderate myself to make sure that I don't over assert or overact, and that I can let things unfold naturally. And when they do unfold naturally, and you watch things just kind of come into being without you forcing it, just, I mean, there's no greater sense of joy when that happens. So it's exciting. Anyway, so that was chapter 6. Chapter 6, yes, chapter 6, the Valley Spirit. Hey, if you enjoyed this chapter, or enjoyed this series so far, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is the Boundless Sovereign channel, where we help folks learn to reflect on their own lives so they can become better people in general, and be better in the world and to the people that they love and cherish around them. So until next time, we'll see you in chapter 7.